Do you sometimes feel like no matter how hard you work, you're just barely keeping up? That's the rat race, working endlessly but never truly moving forward. From a young age, we're taught to get good grades, find a stable job, and work until retirement, but we're never taught how to build wealth. School didn't teach us about investing, passive income, or financial independence, only how to be good employees. If you don't learn how money really works, you'll spend your life working for those who do. The good news? You can break free, take control, and create a life of financial freedom. Imagine this. You wake up early, rush through breakfast, fight through traffic, spend 8 or more hours at work, come home exhausted, and then do it all again the next day. You do this for years, hoping that one day you'll have enough money to finally enjoy life. But somehow, no matter how hard you work, you still feel stuck. That's the rat race, a never-ending cycle where people trade their time for money, only to spend that money on bills, debt, and necessities, leaving little room for financial freedom. But how did we even get here? What exactly is the rat race? The rat race is a financial treadmill. You're running as fast as you can, but you never really get ahead. The system is designed to keep you working, spending, and relying on a paycheck to survive. It's a game where the odds are stacked against you, and most people don't even realize they're playing. It starts early. You go to school, where you're taught how to be a good student, follow rules, and get good grades so you can land a secure job. Society drills into us that success means climbing the corporate ladder, buying a house, and saving for retirement. The problem? No one teaches us how to actually build wealth. Instead, we're told to get a job, work hard, and hope for the best. But here's the catch. A high salary doesn't equal financial freedom. Many people earn 6 figures but are still broke because their expenses rise just as fast as their income. They buy a bigger house, finance a nicer car, and upgrade their lifestyle, locking themselves into a cycle of working just to pay for the life they've built. This is known as lifestyle inflation, and it keeps people trapped. From childhood, we're taught to chase security rather than freedom. Schools don't teach financial literacy, they teach us to be employees. The system prepares us to work for someone else, but it doesn't show us how to build businesses, invest, or generate passive income. While this may have worked decades ago, the world has changed. Job security is an illusion. Companies lay off employees without warning. Automation is replacing jobs, and inflation eats away at savings. Relying on a single paycheck is risky, yet most people are never taught to think differently. Even social pressures keep us in the rat race. Many people stay in jobs they hate just because it's the responsible thing to do. They take on debt to impress others, buying cars, clothes, and vacations they can't really afford, just to keep up with their peers. Now, if escaping the rat race was easy, everyone would do it. But most people stay stuck for 3 main reasons. Breaking out of the rat race requires taking risks. Starting a business, investing in assets, or building passive income streams all come with uncertainty. And let's be real, school doesn't teach us how to handle failure. Instead, we're taught to fear mistakes. But in the real world, failure is often the best teacher. Successful entrepreneurs, investors, and financially free people understand that calculated risks lead to rewards. But most people play it safe, sticking to what's comfortable, even if it means staying broke. The biggest reason people stay trapped? They don't know any better. Schools never teach financial independence, so unless you actively seek out knowledge, you'll never learn how money really works. Think about it. You spent years in school learning algebra, history, and literature, but were you ever taught how to invest, avoid debt traps, or make your money work for you? Probably not. That's not an accident, it's by design. A financially educated population would challenge the system. And that's not in the best interest of those who profit from keeping people dependent on jobs and debt. Here's the reality. If you keep doing what everyone else does, you'll get the same results as everyone else. The question is, do you want to spend your entire life working for money, or do you want to learn how to make money work for you? Escaping the rat race isn't about never working. It's about having control over your time and choices. It means creating income streams that don't require you to trade hours for dollars. It means learning the financial skills that school never taught you so you can live life on your own terms. Most people will never escape because they don't even realize they're trapped. But now that you do, you have a choice. Keep running in circles or start building a path to financial freedom. The journey won't be easy, but trust me, it's worth it. Most of us grew up hearing the same financial advice. Go to school, get a good job, save money, and you'll be set for life. Sounds simple, right? But if that were true, why do so many hardworking people still struggle financially, living paycheck to paycheck, drowning in debt, and never feeling financially free? The truth is, school taught us a lot about history, science, and math, but when it came to money, we were fed myths that keep people stuck in the rat race. Let's break them down. This is probably the biggest financial myth out there. For years, we were told that a college degree guarantees a stable, high-paying job. While education is valuable, the reality is that a degree doesn't guarantee financial success. In fact, many college graduates end up working jobs unrelated to their degrees, saddled with massive student debt and still struggling to make ends meet. Success in today's world isn't just about getting a job, it's about creating multiple sources of income, investing wisely, and understanding how money works. Some of the wealthiest people, entrepreneurs, investors, and innovators, didn't follow the traditional path. They built businesses, invested in assets, and leveraged their skills in ways that schools never taught. If you're relying solely on a paycheck, you're at the mercy of your employer, inflation, and the job market. Real financial success comes from learning how to make money work for you, not just working for money. From a young age, we're told to save money. And while having savings is important, saving alone won't make you rich. Here's why. Inflation eats away at your savings. If you put $10,000 in a bank account today, its purchasing power decreases over time. Prices go up, but your money just sits there, earning little to no interest. The rich don't just save, they invest. They put their money into assets that grow in value, such as stocks, real estate, and businesses. A better approach, instead of just saving, learn to invest. Even if you start small, putting your money in assets that appreciate over time will help you build real wealth. We've all heard it. Stay out of debt. While high-interest debt, like credit cards, can be a financial trap, not all debt is bad. In fact, the wealthy use debt as a tool to build wealth. There are two types of debt: bad debt, credit card balances, car loans, and personal loans that don't generate income. Good debt, loans used to acquire assets that grow in value, like real estate or a business. For example, if you take out a loan to buy a rental property that pays you monthly rent, that's good debt. It generates income and builds wealth over time. The key is understanding how to use debt strategically instead of avoiding it completely. This one keeps so many people trapped in the rat race. Hard work is important, but working harder alone won't make you rich. If working harder was the answer, construction workers, nurses, and teachers who put in long hours would be the wealthiest people on the planet. But they're not. That's because wealth isn't about how hard you work, it's about how smart you work and where your money is going. Instead of just trading your time for money, focus on building systems that make money for you. Start a side hustle that generates passive income. Invest in assets that grow over time. Build skills that allow you to charge more for your time. The key is to leverage your time and money. The wealthiest people don't just work hard, they build systems that make money while they sleep. So what's the takeaway here? The traditional financial advice we grew up with was designed to keep us as employees and consumers, not investors and entrepreneurs. Schools didn't teach us how to build wealth because they weren't designed to. If you want to escape the rat race, you'd need to question the money myths you were taught and start learning how money really works. Invest in financial education, start building assets, and stop relying on old-school advice that no longer applies in today's economy. Let's be real. Most of us were raised to believe that the ultimate goal in life is to get a stable job, earn a decent paycheck, and work hard until retirement. That's what society, parents, and even schools drilled into our heads. But here's the catch. This traditional path often leads straight into the rat race, a cycle of working just to pay bills with little to no real financial freedom. If you're tired of this, the first step to breaking free is shifting your mindset about money, work, and wealth. And here are a few things you should consider. Most people operate with what's called an employee mindset, the belief that the only way to earn money is by working for someone else. This mindset values job security over financial growth, leading many to prioritize a stable paycheck over real wealth-building opportunities. Now contrast that with the wealth-building mindset. This is how business owners, investors, and financially free individuals think. Instead of trading time for money, they look for ways to make money work for them. They focus on acquiring assets, things that generate income, like investments in businesses, instead of just relying on a salary. At first, getting a job seems like the most logical way to make money. After all, you work a set number of hours and you get paid for it. But here's the problem. Your time is limited. No matter how hard you work, there are only 24 hours in a day. If your entire income depends on you showing up to work, you're stuck in a never-ending cycle of work, expenses, and survival. Wealthy people understand this, which is why they focus on creating multiple income streams that don't rely on them working 40+ hours a week. Think about it. Would you rather grind at a job for decades or build something that generates money even while you sleep? One of the biggest secrets to financial freedom is diversifying your income. If your only source of money is your 9-to-5 job, you're always one step away from financial disaster. What if you get fired? What if your industry collapses? That's why you need to build multiple income streams that keep money coming in, even if one fails. Here are some examples. Investments, buying stocks, index funds, or real estate that generate passive income over time. Online businesses, running a digital store, creating a blog, or selling a course. Freelancing or consulting, using your skills to earn extra money outside your main job. Real estate rentals, owning property that pays you rent each month. When you have money flowing in from different sources, you're no longer fully dependent on one paycheck. And that's a huge step toward financial freedom. Most people stay broke because they don't understand the difference between assets and liabilities. An asset is something that puts money in your pocket, while a liability is something that takes money out. Let's break it down. A rental property that pays you every month? That's an asset. A car that drains your bank account with payments, insurance, and gas? That's a liability. A side business that generates passive income? Asset. A huge mortgage for a house you can barely afford? Liability. Wealthy people spend their money on assets, while most people spend theirs on liabilities disguised as investments. If you want to escape the rat race, start acquiring assets that generate cash flow. This shift might seem small, but it's life-changing. The good news? You don't need to be a millionaire to escape the rat race. You just need the right mindset, the right knowledge, and the willingness to take action. Now, if you think back to your school days, chances are you never got a class on money management. Sure, you might have learned a bit about budgeting and home economics, or seen a slide or two about the stock market in passing, but nothing that truly prepared you for the financial world. What if schools had given us the tools to make money work for us, instead of just earning it? Here's the lowdown on what you really need to know about money. First off, one of the most powerful concepts you should have learned is the magic of compound interest. It's like planting a seed that grows into a money tree. The earlier you start investing, even if it's a small amount, the more time your money has to multiply. Instead of letting your cash sit in a savings account with barely any interest, putting your money to work in investments can really pay off over the years. Imagine having a little extra income every month without even clocking extra hours at your day job. Pretty awesome, right? Another thing schools missed is how to navigate taxes. Yeah, taxes can be a drag, but understanding them can actually work in your favor. Many of us never learned how the tax system works or how to use it to our advantage. There are legal ways to reduce your tax bill, like deductions, credits, and investing in tax-advantaged accounts. Think of it as learning the cheat codes for the financial game. Knowing what counts as a deductible expense or how to structure your income can make a huge difference in what you take home at the end of the year. Then there's the whole assets versus liabilities thing. Most of us have been taught to buy a house as a symbol of success, but schools rarely explain that not every purchase is an asset. An asset is something that puts money in your pocket, while a liability takes money out. For example, buying a car that loses value every year is a liability, but investing in a rental property that brings in monthly rent is an asset. Understanding this difference can change the way you spend and save money. It helps you focus on building things that generate income rather than just consuming stuff. Financial literacy should also include learning how to read and understand financial statements. You don't need to be an accountant, but knowing the basics of cash flow, profit and loss, and balance sheets can give you insights into how businesses operate. This knowledge isn't just for those who want to start a business. It's also crucial if you're thinking of investing in stocks or even managing your own side hustle. It helps you make informed decisions rather than just following the hype. Budgeting is another essential skill that should have been a part of every curriculum. And it's not just about tracking your expenses. It's about setting financial goals and planning for the future. A good budget helps you see where your money is going, cut out unnecessary expenses, and allocate funds toward building wealth. Whether you're saving for a down payment on a house, planning a dream vacation, or just trying to build an emergency fund, a solid budget is your best friend. On top of all that, we really needed to learn about risk and reward. Schools rarely taught us that taking calculated risks is a part of financial growth. Investing, starting a business, or even switching careers involves risk, but it's important to weigh that risk against potential rewards. Learning how to evaluate opportunities, diversify your income streams, and manage risk can help you avoid falling into the trap of thinking that a safe, predictable paycheck is the only way to achieve financial freedom. Lastly, the most crucial lesson is probably the mindset shift. Money isn't just about numbers, it's about the choices you make and the habits you build. A lot of what school taught us was about following rules and getting good grades. But when it comes to money, you need to be innovative, adaptable, and always hungry to learn more. It's about taking control of your financial destiny rather than letting it control you. In a nutshell, if school had focused on these real-world money lessons, compound interest, smart tax strategies, understanding assets versus liabilities, financial literacy, budgeting, risk management, and the right mindset, we'd be in a much stronger position today. While you can't go back in time and redo your education, you can start learning these lessons now. Chapter 5: Practical Steps to Escape the Rat Race. So, you're ready to break free from the 9-to-5 grind, escape the rat race, and take control of your financial future. But where do you start? The truth is, it's not about waiting for some magical moment to get rich. It's about taking actionable steps today that'll set you up for long-term success. Let's dive into some real practical steps that anyone, whether you're fresh out of school or in your 30s and feeling stuck, can take to escape the rat race. Step 1. Increase your financial education. The first thing you need to do is get smart about money. Schools rarely teach us how to manage finances effectively, let alone how to make money work for us. To break free from the rat race, understanding the basics of money is absolutely crucial. You need to understand how wealth is built and the steps it takes to get there. Start by diving into some books on personal finance. Classic reads like Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki or The Richest Man in Babylon by George S. Clason lay out the fundamental principles of building wealth and managing money. There are also plenty of podcasts and YouTube channels focused on personal finance and investing that can teach you financial strategies on the go. Mentorship can be a game changer as well. Find someone who's been where you want to go and learn from their experiences. They can provide guidance and offer insights into what worked for them. The more knowledge you have, the more confident you'll feel about your financial decisions. Remember, knowledge is power when it comes to escaping the rat race. Step 2. Start building assets today. Now that you've learned about money, it's time to get to work. Building assets is the key to wealth, and it's something you can start doing right now, no matter where you are financially. What's the difference between an asset and a liability? Simply put, assets put money in your pocket, while liabilities take money out of your pocket. For example, a rental property can bring in monthly income, making it an asset. A new car that you have to pay off with interest is a liability, It doesn't bring in income and costs you money over time. Start small if you need to, but start building assets today. Here are some ways to get going. Real estate. You don't need to buy a mansion to start. Many people begin by investing in rental properties. Real estate can be a long-term wealth-building strategy with passive income from rents and the potential for appreciation. Stocks and ETFs. The stock market is a proven way to grow wealth over time. You don't need to be a financial expert to start. In fact, index funds and ETFs, exchange-traded funds, are great ways to get your foot in the door. These investments spread your risk and track the broader market, so you don't need to pick individual stocks. Online businesses. The digital age has opened up a world of opportunities. From starting a blog to launching an online store, there are countless ways to build an online business. The best part? Many of these businesses can be run with low startup costs, and once they're established, they can generate passive income. Step 3. Reduce financial liabilities. Now that you're on the path to building assets, it's important to look at your liabilities and work on reducing them. Liabilities are things that drain your bank account, and the fewer you have, the better your financial situation will be. One major liability that many people don't consider is lifestyle inflation. As your income grows, it's easy to fall into the trap of upgrading your lifestyle, buying a bigger house, a fancier car, or going on more expensive vacations. But all this does is increase your expenses, making it harder to build wealth. Instead, focus on living below your means. That doesn't mean depriving yourself of everything you love. Just be mindful of your spending and avoid falling into the trap of buying things you don't really need. Pay off high-interest debt. Credit cards, payday loans, and other high-interest debt can eat up your finances and keep you stuck in the rat race. Work on paying these off as quickly as possible to free up cash for saving and investing. The interest rates on these debts often far exceed the returns you could get from most investments, so reducing them should be a top priority. Step 4. Create multiple streams of income. One of the biggest mistakes people make is relying solely on their paycheck. The more income sources you have, the less reliant you are on any one source of income, which means you're less vulnerable to the economic ups and downs that come with traditional employment. Side hustles. In today's world, you can start a side hustle almost effortlessly. Whether it's freelancing in graphic design, driving for Uber, or becoming an affiliate marketer, there are endless ways to make extra cash on the side. This extra income can go toward paying off debt or investing for your future. Passive income. As mentioned earlier, this is key to escaping the rat race. Once you've built your assets, you want them to work for you even when you're not working. Passive income streams like dividends from stocks, royalties from a YouTube channel, or rental income from real estate allow you to earn money while you sleep. Step 5. Develop the right mindset. You can have all the assets and income streams in the world, but without the right mindset, you'll never escape the rat race. The key is developing a mindset of abundance, not scarcity. Stop thinking like an employee and start thinking like an entrepreneur or investor. Be willing to take calculated risks, understand that failure is a part of the journey, and know that wealth building takes time. Stay focused on long-term goals rather than short-term satisfaction. Yes, it's tempting to buy that expensive gadget or take a lavish vacation, but consider how much better off you'll be in the long run if you focus on investing in yourself and your future. However, you need to know that breaking free from the rat race isn't about some get-rich-quick scheme. It's about understanding money, taking consistent action, and making smart financial decisions. These steps are your starting point. The key is to stay consistent, keep learning, and always look for new opportunities. So, here's the truth. The rat race doesn't have to be your reality. You have the power to change your financial future, but it starts with taking action and shifting your mindset. School taught you how to work hard for money, but it never really showed you how to make money work for you. And that's where things get interesting. The journey to financial freedom isn't about waiting for some magic moment. It's about making smart choices every day. Whether you start small, like cutting back on unnecessary expenses, reading that first book on investing, or setting aside a portion of your income for something that appreciates, or whether you dive headfirst into building multiple income streams, it's all about moving forward. The good news? You don't have to do it alone. There are countless resources, books, mentors, and communities out there to help you along the way. It's up to you to seek them out, absorb the knowledge, and apply it. It's about taking control over where your money goes and learning to think like an investor, not just an employee. Yes, it can feel overwhelming at first, and yes, there will be mistakes along the way. But remember, every step you take towards financial freedom brings you closer to a life where you don't rely on a paycheck to survive. You become the master of your time and your money. So take a deep breath and know this: you don't have to stay stuck in a job or a life that isn't fulfilling. Your future is waiting for you to take charge. Start now. Learn. Invest. Build. The sooner you do, the sooner you'll experience the freedom that comes with mastering your money.